Hello, parents. Your children and their teachers are either currently in the thick of preparing for the student parent teacher conferences, or they are just about to. So here's a short video to help you understand the purpose of these conferences and how we do them at Mount Scopus. Respected educational researcher John Hattie says that student self-reporting is the most significant indicator linked to raised student achievement. And this connects perfectly with our student parent teacher conferences. In doing these conferences, our students are learning how to self-report. In the PYP, we call this assessment capability. So the purpose of student parent teacher conferences is to develop their assessment capability. Students develop their assessment capability when they partner with teachers, and in this case parents, to design learning goals and success criteria. When they learn to self-assess and to discuss their progress towards achieving learning goals. When they learn to select evidence, such as samples of their learning, that best demonstrate their successes and intended learning goals. When they develop the metacognitive skills to reflect on their learning and to plan next steps. And when they learn to use feedback and multiple strategies to adjust their learning and identify where and when to make improvements. So that's what these conferences are about. They are very different to parent-teacher conferences, which, let's be honest, for better or worse, exclude the students from conversations about their learning. So students and teachers have a lot of preparation to do in order to get the kids ready for these conferences. Your role before the conferences is really to understand the purpose of the student parent teacher conference, hence this video. To chat with your child about the student parent teacher conference. The initial chat, you'll be finding out if they've started working on it. And maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but they will very soon if they haven't. So initially, just find out if they've started working on it and what they're doing. And perhaps most importantly, be as positive and curious as you can about your child's conference and what you're going to learn about your child and their learning as a result of the conference. And then during your child's student parent teacher conference, your role is to respect and adhere to the protocol of the conference. The conference is planned. The teachers are going to use a protocol with the students. They'll kind of negotiate that with the students. The students will practice it and prepare it. They'll rehearse with their peers. And so sticking to the protocol of the conference is really, really important. This one seems kind of obvious, but it is so important. Really, your role is to be supportive of your child, not only in the kind of big picture of their learning, but also in the conference itself. Just imagine how challenging this is for kids to sit there with their parents and their teacher and talk about their learning and reflect on their learning. It's a challenge. I certainly didn't do it when I was at school. I wish I had. And maybe you did, but it's probably quite unlikely. So really be supportive and help them through the experience and help them enjoy the experience. And then part of your role also is to ask questions, ask your child questions. You always ask your child questions first, and then if necessary, refer a question to the teacher if the child's not sure. But the focus is really on the conversation with the child, and offer any ideas around the goals and the strengths and maybe how you might be able to support your child with some of their goals, and make suggestions. And then really, really importantly, to be an active listener. We really want to make sure we're listening to the children. This won't impact many of you, but it could be really important for some of you if you speak a first language at home, and there might be moments where your child is struggling to express themselves in English. If you need to, give them the chance to say what they're thinking in their first language, and then we'll find a way to translate. So then after your child's conference, your role is to reflect on how well your child expressed herself or himself and how they communicated throughout the conference. To celebrate your child's strengths with them and just have a really positive conversation around that with them. And then to honor the learning goals that your child has identified, and then think about how you might be able to support them and have that conversation with them as well. Think about some things you might be able to do at home to support those goals. And that'll be part of an ongoing conversation with the teachers too. So, enjoy the experience of the student-parent-teacher conferences with your child. In my experience, this is one of the most powerful educational moments for students. Oh, sorry, I just got an email. This is one of the most powerful educational moments for students, particularly when the adults around the child create the conditions for them to be as successful as possible. Thanks for your time.